Hello everyone. I hope that everyone is fine. So today we are going to basically discuss what are the various questions which have been asked in the board examination from the lesson electrolysis. Now the first question which was asked in 2005 for 1 mark was name the gas released at cathode when acidated water is electrolyzed. Now we know that the two gases evolved during electrolysis of acidated water was hydrogen and oxygen. Hydrogen being positive will get released at cathode when acidated water is electrolyzed. At the same time, just to recall, oxygen will be related at anode. The amount of hydrogen collected will be twice that of oxygen because water molecule contains two atoms of hydrogen and one atom of oxygen. In 2006, the question was asked on electrolysis of copper sulfate using platinum anode. Please remember, students, we have done electrolysis of copper sulfate by using copper electrodes as well as using inert electrodes like platinum. Now study a diagram given alongside and answer the question. The first one was give the name of the electrolyte A and B. Now the electrolyte A, sorry, it was electrodes. So the name of electrode A is platinum anode and that of electrode B is platinum or copper cathode. Why use platinum or copper? Because at cathode the copper gets deposited. Which electrode is the oxidizing electrode? Now, anode acts as an oxidizing electrode because loss of electrons take place at uh, that electrode. Now, a strip of copper sulfate is placed in four different colorless salt solution. They are KNO3, AgNO3, ZnNO3 twice, and CaNO3 twice. KNO3 is potassium nitrate, AgNO3 is silver nitrate, ZnNO3 twice is zinc nitrate, and CaNO3 twice is calcium nitrate. Which of the solution will finally turn blue? Now, AgNO3 solution will turn blue. The reason being the other elements like potassium, zinc, and calcium are more reactive than copper. How I decided that they are more reactive than copper? Please remember, students, we have done electrochemical series or the reactivity series. Those who are not able to recall, I'll write the electrochemical series for you. We had potassium, sodium, calcium, magnesium, aluminium, zinc, iron, lead, hydrogen, copper, mercury, silver, platinum, and gold. Now we had learned that as you move from top to bottom, the reactivity decreases, and the elements which are more reactive can displace a less reactive element, but a less reactive element cannot displace a more reactive element. In this case, only silver lies below copper. All other elements are more reactive, and therefore silver solution will turn. Therefore, copper can only displace silver from silver nitrate solution. Copper cannot displace zinc, calcium, or potassium from its solution. This was the concept of electrolysis. In 2007, they had asked you choose A, B, C, or D to match the description 1 to 5 below. Some alphabets may be repeated. Like you may repeat the options given. Now, here the options are A is non electrolyte, B is a strong electrolyte, C is a weak electrolyte, D is a metallic conductor. Now, based on these electrolytes and conductors, you have to decide what are the compounds. First option is molten ionic compound. Second one is carbon tetrachloride. Third one is aluminum wire. Fourth one is a solution containing solvent molecule whose molecules and ions formed by the dissociation of solute molecules. And the fifth one is a sugar solution with sugar molecules and water molecules. Now your strong electrolyte. First, or if you look at the options in Roman numbers, let's do it the help of options with Roman number. Now, molten ionic compounds. Now, molten ionic compound will be strong electrolyte because they undergo complete dissociation. Ionic compounds like sodium chloride can be the best example to recall that strong electrolytes undergo complete dissociation, and they are mostly ionic compound in the molten state. Please remember, students, while teaching you the electrolysis chapter, I told you sodium chloride does not undergo electrolysis in normal condition. Only in the molten state or in the aqueous state, sodium chloride shows electrolysis. Second one is carbon tetrachloride. Now, carbon tetrachloride is a non-electrolyte. Why? Because it's a bad conductor of electricity. Aluminium wire, it's a metallic conductor because aluminum is a metal. A solution containing molecules, solute molecules, and ions formed by dissociation of solute molecules, they are weak electrolyte because these solvent or these solid molecules or ions can conduct a small amount of electricity. Last one, a sugar solution with sugar molecule and water molecule. It's a non-electrolyte because again, sugar is a organic compound. An organic compound undergoes least dissociation. In 2008, question was at which electrode, anode or cathode, would such a reaction take place? Is this an example of oxidation or reduction? The question was if you see, copper gives copper plus 2 and plus 2 electrons. That means you can see the loss of electrons takes place. Now, where does loss of electron take place? If you have learned the electrolysis of copper sulfate solution using copper electrodes, it will be at anode. At anode, copper metal loses 2 electrons and becomes copper ion, which dissolves in the electrolyte, that is copper sulfate. And from this electrolyte, it goes to the cathode, where the deposition of coppers take place by the gain of 2 electrons. A solution contains magnesium ion, iron ions, and copper ion. On passing electric current through the solution, which ions will be the first to be discharged at cathode? Write the equation for cathode reaction. Now, please remember, students, elements with least reactivity will get deposited first. So, out of magnesium ion, iron ion, and copper ion, as we have seen the reactivity series right now, copper is below hydrogen, so it is least reactive. Therefore, copper ions will get deposited at cathode by gaining 2 electrons. The reaction which you have to write will be copper plus 2 ion plus 2 electrons will give you copper, which is deposited at cathode. Third question is, why is carbon tetrachloride, which is a liquid, A of the following takes place? Now the answer is carbon tetrachloride is a non-electrolyte because it is a covalent compound. It does not ionize and hence do not conduct electricity. Please remember, ionic compounds are good conductor of electricity. They dissociate in their molten or aqueous solution and are good conductors of electricity. In question 2008, again, a question was asked. And 2008 was the year for your electrolysis because many questions were asked in the same year. During the electrolysis of molten lead bromide, which of the following takes place? Now, bromine is released at cathode, lead is deposited at anode, bromine ions gain electrons, and lead is deposited at cathode. Now, look at the options. Now, you can see lead is deposited at anode is the right answer. Sorry, lead is deposited at the cathode is your right answer because bromine ion loses electron, so gain electron is the wrong option. Bromine is released at cathode, bromine is not released. All right, because at cathode lead is deposited. This was a 1 mark question again. So students, this was the questions which have been asked various years from board examination. Now let's see the previous year question in which some of the fill in the blanks were asked and XYZ type of question was asked. In the year 2004, this question was really interesting because it requires application of the concept from electrolysis. Element X is a metal with valency 2. Please remember, students, I have taught you the periodic table. Valency 2 means elements belonging to group number 2. Element Y is a non-metal with valency 3. That means element Y belongs to group number 13. I have taught you, if you remember, just a clue to revise here. Your group number indicates valency. Like group number 1, valency 1, group number 2, valency 2, group number 13, valency 3, group number 14, valency 4, group number 15, valency 3, group number 16, valency 2, and group number 17, again valency 1. How can I differentiate between the valency 1, 2, 3? Uh, if the outermost cell has one electron, it's a metal, 1, 2, or 3 electrons, and it will have valency 1, 2, and 3 respectively. Now, write equation to show how X and Y forms ion. Now, X has valency 2, so X ion will be X, as it is a metal, it will lose electron, that is X plus 2, and as it is losing 2 electrons, it has 2 positive charges, minus 2 electrons. At the same time, Y is a not also a Y will be a non-metal, so it will start losing electron. Y plus 3 electron will give Y 3 minus ion. This plus 2 indicates gain of electron. This minus 3 indicates, this plus 2 indicates loss of electron, and this minus 3 indicates gain of electron. Next question was asked us, if Y is a diatomic gas, write the equation for direct combination of X and Y to form a compound. Now, if Y is a gas, your reaction will be Y2 plus 3X will give you X3Y2. You can again do it with your cross multiplication method. We have written Y2 because Y is diatomic, plus 3X will give you X3Y2. Y2. Next question was asked, write two application of electrolysis in which anode diminishes in mass. The application which we have done till now are, it is used in electroplating of metals, like we have seen in the example of electroplating by copper using copper electrodes. In this case, your anode gets depleted and your cathode becomes bigger in size. It is used in purification of metals. In the metallurgy chapter, you are going to see about extraction of aluminium, where your anode will get depleted, which is a carbon electrode or a graphite electrode. Next question was, fill in the blanks. If compound formed between X and Y is melted and an electric current is passed to the molten compound, the element X will be obtained at dash and Y at the dash of the electrolytic cell. Now your X will be obtained at cathode and Y will be obtained at anode, because your X is a cation and Y is a anion. Which kind of particles will be found in a liquid compound which is a non-electrolyte? Your answer for this would be, a non-electrolyte contains molecules. If HX is a weak acid, what particles will be present in its dilute solution apart from those of water? Your answer is molecules of HX and small amount of H plus ion and X minus ions. Question C, again, if you see, it's a fill in the blanks. It says cations are formed by dash. Your option given is loss or gain of electron. Please remember, metals form cations and non-metals forms anions. Metals lose electron and non-metals gain electron. Therefore, metals will have positive ion and non-metals forms negative ion. So here your answer would be loss of electrons. And anions are formed by gain of electrons. What ions must be present in a solution used for electroplating a particular metal? Now, this question is very particular. The electrolyte used for the purpose must contain the ions of metals which is to be electroplated on the article. Like if I want to use or electroplate iron with copper, I have to use copper sulfates or use an electrolyte which contains copper ion. If I want to do the electroplating of silver, I should have silver ion. If you remember, we had done the electroplating with the help of silver complex salt instead of silver nitrate. Next question was, explain how electrolysis is an example of redox reaction. Students, we have done this several times. Electrolysis is an example of redox reaction because loss and gain of electrons takes place at anode and cathode respectively. So the answer which you have to write is, the reaction at cathode involves reduction of cations as they gain electrons to become neutral atom, while at anode involves oxidation of anions as they lose electron to become neutral ion. Either you can use the example of dissociation of sodium chloride during electrolysis, or you can write down the example which we have done in copper sulfate solution electrolysis using copper electrode. Please remember, at anode, copper metal will get converted into copper ion, that is Cu plus 2, plus 2 electrons will be released. This copper ion will dissolve in the electrolyte, and at cathode, this copper plus 2 ion will gain 2 electrons and become copper metal. Now, this loss of electron is called as oxidation. That means at anode, oxidation takes place. Gain of electron is known as reduction. That means at cathode, reduction takes place. And combination, when in a cell both oxidation and reduction takes place, it is known as redox reaction. In 2005, they have asked you a give reason question. Explain why copper, though a good conductor of electricity, is a non-electrolyte. The reason is, copper is an electronic conductor as it is a metal. Solid sodium chloride does not allow electricity to pass through. The reason is, in solid sodium chloride, Na plus and Cl minus ions are not free due to strong electrostatic force of attraction between them. The ions therefore are unable to move to any large extent when electric field is affected. Hence, no current is carried by the solid sodium chloride. Please remember, solid sodium chloride is an ionic compound. As soon as you dissolve this ionic compound in water, it will dissociate into Na plus ion and Cl minus ion. And these ions are free to move at the respective electrodes, that is cathode and anode.